when they met the first time and lost.
That's right, legendary coach G.A. Moore.
And we are having the coin toss. As soon as that is completed, we'll be pretty much ready to go here. As the Garrison Bulldogs in the maroon and white uniforms, they're in the dark maroon jerseys with a white trim today, while the Bangs Texas Dragons, green and white, and the white jerseys with a green trim. Both these teams have earned their way here and have played some tough folks along the way in postseason. And I don't think any big surprise to see Garrison here ranked number 1 and undefeated. But not a whole lot expected to Bangs, especially after a slow start. And they have certainly been able to capitalize on the outstanding play of their running back. He's been a big part of the reason why they've been able to get here. As the official finally flips the coin on the field, we'll see who has won the toss. And they'll line up in formation. As we mentioned, the stiff breeze here today. Otherwise, though, the weather conditions very, very good. And we're looking also at a situation where both teams didn't have to travel quite as far as we thought they might have traveled if it had worked out a little bit differently a week ago, Rusty.
That's right. If it worked out where Panhandle would have won, we would have had to go maybe northwest of Dallas.
Well, apparently, I believe, if I'm reading this right, they won the coin toss.
Looked like the Bulldogs won it.
And deferred. They have deferred, and it will be Bangs will receive. And I think they did the same thing a week ago, if I recall correct. But anyway, also, they'll be going against the wind, I believe, if they line up the way I think they are here at the stadium. This is a beautiful stadium. Trojans on one end, Lions on the other. And, of course, two different schools share the stadium here. And Casey Stadium, not far from here, where the home of the Baylor Bears.
That's right.
And that is a beautiful facility also.
Well, the wind has changed directions from what it was before the game. It was blowing actually a little bit different direction, and I think the reason is they don't have any pine trees out here in Waco, Gary. So they need to plant some pine trees around this thing, and then it'd look a lot better, and then it'd calm that wind down, I think.
Well, it's officially what you call Central Texas here. If you look at the rosters, though, you notice a lot more players on the roster than for this Dragons team. They suit up, it looks to be about 20, a little over 20 players, whereas Garrison, a little bit longer list.
Oh, yeah, with Bulldogs, we suit up everybody that everybody can wear a jersey. We put a jersey on them, play football.
Recruit a few band members
along
the way. Well, it's going to be Evers and DeBusk, Cooper DeBusk deep to receive the kick of the Garrison Bulldogs, who will kick with the wind to their backs. Wind will be behind Garrison here in the first quarter. Good to have you with us by radio wherever you may be listening. And we're ready for some high school football, a state championship, 5 Division II state title games being played today. And one of those will be played tonight here at this stadium also in Class 1A.
That's right.
And we're about ready to go. Jaron Blunt ready to kick it off. 2 men standing deep in the green. It almost looked like the Baylor Bears, this Dragons team we're facing today. Here is the catch by the DeBusk.
Cooper DeBusk.
He'll get across the 10 to about the 12. Good downfield coverage by the Garrison Bulldogs, and they end up stopping him for a short return.
Yeah, number 7, Shane Cotton, getting in on that tackle. Before the game, I asked Skinny, Skinny, how many special team tackles are you going to make? He said all of them. So hope he gets all of them.
Here we go, first down and 10. That's where they'll go on offense. The Dragons of Bangs, Texas. Deep in the heart of West Texas. They'll come out first and 10. Far side hash mark at the 12-yard line. They'll spread the field. That one running back, Jacoby, in the backfield. They'll send a man in motion. 2 receivers wide to each side. Handoff goes straight ahead to Jacoby Jones, and he is met hard after a gain of about 2.
Yeah, number 11, Devin Connell, from that outside linebacker spot, expecting the handoff. Looked like he got in there around the tight end and made that tackle for the Bulldogs.
A gain of 2 on the play. We're just underway. Live from Waco, Texas. No score. Second down, 8. Line of scrimmage to 15. 3 wide receivers split wide to one side, 1 to the other. 1 running back. They'll send a man in motion. quarterback will get.
Whoa, Bradley Barton upends him. Clayton Norman catches it.
And brings it into the end zone for a score. Handed to Evers. Evers lost it. And a great job by Clayton Norman scooping it up, getting it into the end zone, and how sweet it is. 6 points, and Norman, it looked like a pretty good back going into that end zone.
Yeah, he would not be denied. Number 21, Bradley Barton, coming in from the corner, hit the pitch man, knocked the ball loose. It popped up in the air. Clayton Norman, with all of his speed and agility, ran under the ball and carried it on into the end zone for the Bulldogs.
And just like that, the Garrison Bulldogs strike, and we hadn't played a minute. 11-12 remaining in the opening quarter. Here comes the extra point try. The kick is on the way. It is through the uprights. It's perfect. It's good. The Garrison Bulldogs strike and strike quickly with less than a minute into the ballgame, leading 7-0. We're back after this 60-second break on Quality Rock, Q107.
Today, there's a newer ER. At Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital, we've improved patient care and comfort with our new Level 3 Trauma Center. Today, there's a faster ER. At Memorial Hospital, we've instituted the Fast Track program, which enables less severe cases to be seen by a doctor faster, while more critical injuries go straight to the ER. Today, there is a better ER. At Memorial, we've always had the most caring staff and state-of-the-art equipment. Now we have the facility that makes us newer, faster, and better. Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital. The future is ours.
Light Fare on Main Deli and Bakery is located among the antique shops on the brick streets of downtown Nacogdoches. Our nostalgic atmosphere is delightful. Come join us for lunch and enjoy our delicious sandwiches, soups, salads, quiche, exquisite pastries, and yes, a big burger. For your holiday get-togethers, try one of our party trays and or our homemade cakes and pies. Light Fare on Main, located next door to the House of Versailles on East Main in downtown Nacogdoches.
Well, Clayton Norman is listed as 282 pounds. I tell you what, that was a great play. And, you know, these Dragons, I think, are in a little bit of a state of a shock, Rusty. They're shocked to see somebody strike like this in a hurry. And 7-0 is the score, and momentum is lifted Garrison quickly here as they're up 7-0. As Norman takes advantage of a turnover, scoops it up, takes it in. Here's a high end-over-end kick by Blunt. Going to be returned by Evers. Bobby Evers, a big hole at the 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 30. Going to be dragged down at the 28-yard line. A heck of a way to get back into the ballgame. And I want to underline these fans that are opposite of us. Remember, Garrison is the home team here at Waco. I would imagine there's 4,000, maybe 5,000 fans from West Texas, and you talk about on their feet making some noise, and that'll do it. That was a return of around 60 yards and gives them great field position. 1st and 10 at the Garrison 29-yard line, and Evers had a gaping hole opened up by his offensive line.
That's right. Bradley Barton ran him down from behind and really saved a touchdown for the Bulldogs.
Chris Tilton at quarterback. One wide receiver goes straight ahead on the handoff.
21, Corey Apple.
The blocking fullback, who's done such a good job for blocking for Jones, the running back we were talking about. He goes straight ahead for about 5, Rusty, and he looked pretty good on that play.
Yeah, Daniel Gillis and a couple other Bulldogs converging on that tackle. And they have got excellent field position, but the Bulldogs need to show some defensive muscle like they did on that last series and see if we can get this ball back down here.
10 minutes, 30 seconds remaining opening quarter, 7-0 Garrison. But here comes Bang, 2nd down and 5. A handoff to Jones, left side, big hole. He will take Blunt with him all the way down to about the 11-yard line where it will be 1st down. Close to a 1st and goal, but I think they were going to say he was shoved out of bounds at about the 10.5-yard line. We just got a good look at Jones, great back, and he did a good job of getting outside, and Blunt, he carried Blunt with him, 3 or 4 yards before he finally ran him out of bounds.
Yeah, Jones is quite a load, and Blunt giving up a little bit of size to him, coming up from the safety position and able to ride him out of bounds.
Jones weighs 210 pounds and bench presses, well, let's just say a house and leave it at that. 1st and 11, handoff straight ahead to Apple. Flags go down. And
looked like Daniel Gillis in on the top of that pile. Sean Belair is coming in from the cornerback spot, helping in on that tackle. Face mask against the Bulldogs.
That's a face mask call against the Bulldogs. And that should be, I would imagine, half the distance to the goal line. That's
like
what they're...
Foul, face mask on the defense, automatic first down.
So there you get it officially from the official right there. And here we go. It'll be first and goal at the 4-yard line of Garrison. Tilton, the quarterback, will go to the left and is going to be dragged down for a loss.
Yep. Blunt held him up just long enough for Blake Phillips to get there and make the tackle.
Phillips did a good job of finishing him off and dropped him for about a 2-yard loss. It'll be second and goal, and I would imagine back at around the 7-yard line is where they're going to mark the new line of scrimmage. 7-0 Garrison. We're early with 9:39 left to play, but here comes the Bangs Dragons banging on the door. But a big play by Phillips has put them back second and goal instead of the 4 at the 7-yard line.
Bulldogs in their goal line defense.
Tilton up to the line of scrimmage. Everybody in tight. 3 running backs in a T. Handoff goes to Apple, and Apple's inside the 5, but he'll never get to the goal line.
It looked like number 76, the Bulldogs, Dexter Price, a couple other boys in there helping make that stop. Going to hold him up. It's going to bring up third down.
Third and goal. At the 4-yard line, they get back to the original line of scrimmage. 8:58 left to play, opening quarter. 7-0 Garrison on top, but here comes the Dragons. Tilton remains at quarterback, and yes, Jones among those in the backfield on a straight T. 2 tight ends, no wide receivers.
They give to Apple again.
Apple goes to the 1.
Daniel Gillis, Bradley Barton, Sean Baleris converging on the tackle, holding him up. Gain of about 2 yards.
He will not get into the end zone. And what do you do here? Do you go for the field goal? I don't think so.
No.
Close to the goal line, you go for it. 4th down and goal at the 2, folks. Here we go. Garrison Bulldogs wanting a goal line stand. Look at the sea of maroon, and now we got a timeout.
Yeah, Bangs calls the timeout. They're going to think about it.
Proud supporters of the Garrison Bulldogs, Mike Perry Motor Company. Family-owned, customer-driven. We'll be back right after this 60-second timeout.
At PacSun, your comfort is their business. They take care of all your heating and air conditioning needs with quality products like Amana and dependable service. For year-round comfort, the Amana gas furnace with the stainless steel exchanger gives you an extra measure of economy and dependability. One call, one company, backed by the products from Amana. PacSun in Nacogdoches and Lufkin. PacSun, for year-round comfort, they've got you covered. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a name worth remembering. When you think about prescription drugs, over-the-counter medications, and quality healthcare products, remember this name. This name will be the only name you need to remember when it comes to prescription drugs. Medical Center Pharmacy. When you want a pharmacist you can trust, remember this name, Melvin Beard. A pharmacist who cares about you and your family. Melvin Beard has a friendly staff at Medical Center Pharmacy where your health is their only business. In downtown Garrison, a name worth remembering.
Here come the Dragons, 4th down at the 2.
Jones, don't get in.
He didn't make it. Jones tripped up. I don't know which Garrison Bulldog got to him first.
I couldn't tell. It might have been Bradley Barton or Blake Phillips.
I think it was Phillips. I think he was the one who got in the backfield. The offensive line didn't do a very good job on the left side of opening up any kind of hole. Phillips came crashing through, and guess what, folks? Garrison Bulldogs have achieved the goal line stand and turned the Dragons away and will take over 1st and 10 from the 1-yard line.
Well, Gary, the Bulldogs have come up big on defense 2 times in a row, scoring once and now holding out the Dragons on a goal line stand. And we'll see what the offense can do. This is the first time they've been on the field.
1st down. Up to the line of scrimmage, the Garrison Bulldogs from the 1. They go straight ahead to Blunt. Blunt's going to be knocked down after a gain of about 2, maybe 3. All he's looking for is just a little breathing room.
Breathing room. We don't want to stand in the purple and take the snap. We need to get out in the green part. Gets it out between the 4 and the 5-yard line.
Wes Chandler at quarterback. Boy, did he have a big field goal or what a week ago?
Well, I'll tell you what, there was more drama in that game last week than a whole week of soap operas.
2nd down, and that's saying a lot. 2nd down and 6. gain of 4 on that play. Gives the Garrison a 2nd down and 6 from the 5-yard line as they lead it 7-0. They will send a man in motion. Quarterback on the option will keep. Chandler's got room. 15,
Oh, Chandler,
20,
he could break this, Gary.
40.
He got pulled down.
Going to be knocked down at about the 45-yard line, but what a nice lane he found to run through as he just kept running, and finding a seam. Finally, one of the Dragons managed to catch him from behind, but like you say, if he could have beat one more tackler, he might have could have gone the distance.
Yeah, the junior safety, Jeremy Furness, 190, ran him down from behind. Actually had an angle on him.
Remember, this drive began way back at the 1-yard line.
Bulldogs in a whole lot better field position now.
You betcha. 1st down and 10 from the 44. 2 tight ends, split backs operating behind the quarterback. Here comes the handoff to Christopher, and Christopher going to get about 2. Garrison Bulldogs trying to achieve something no team has ever done, of outright state title. In school history, 6:57 remaining opening quarter. 7-0. Garrison did a great job with the old goal line stand after a great opportunity for this Dragon team, and they didn't take advantage of it. And you know what happens on missed opportunities? Sometimes that comes back and haunts you.
Yep, the Bulldogs really sent a message on their defense to the Bangs offensive coordinators to try to, they're going to have to come up with something.
2nd down, 6. Here comes the quarterback giving straight ahead and not much there. But as you know, the Garrison Bulldogs don't mind putting it in air. In fact, Blunt, what do you have? He had about a 73-yard touchdown catch last week.
Sure did.
He was the ball carrier there, and it makes it 3rd and 5. It'll be interesting to see what the play selection of Jimmy Thompson will be here, with the Garrison Bulldogs facing 3rd and 5 from their 49-yard line, needing to get to the 44 of Bangs to pick up a 1st down, leading 7-0. And that one touchdown came when a fumble occurred, and it was scooped up and taken into the end zone. 3rd down. Here's the busted play. Officials have a penalty marker down. We'll take a break. There's a timeout on the field. Mike Perry Motor Company, family-owned, customer-driven. Proud supporters of the Bulldogs. We're back after the 60-second break.
For real one-stop convenience, drive into Bradshaw's Quick Stop, Highway 59 in Garrison, across from the school, supporting the Bulldogs all the way. Mr. and Mrs. Mike Bradshaw invite you to enjoy delicious pizza and subs served up hot and fresh every day at Bradshaw's Quick Stop. For a quick fill-up of Exxon gasoline, good food and refreshments, and convenient one-stop shopping, stop in at Bradshaw's Quick Stop, Highway 59 in Garrison, across from the school, home of the #1 Garrison Bulldogs. When you shop East Texas Carpet and Lighting in Nacogdoches, you'll discover something East Texas Carpet customers already know. At East Texas Carpets, you'll find carpet by leading makers. You'll also find area rugs, ceramic tile, vinyl floors, hardwood, and durable laminate flooring. Sammy Clifton and staff can cover every room in your home. Good selection, great values, professional service. See the difference professionals can make. East Texas Carpet and Lighting, University Drive, Nacogdoches.
The score is 7-0. Garrison, it's 3rd down and 5. They give the toss to Blunt. Blunt's got room. He's got the 1st down. He's going to be knocked down at the 40-yard line of the Dragons. And a great job by the offensive line of the Garrison Bulldogs of creating some holes. Garrison up 7-0. And to recap it for many of you, and we apologize for being off the air for just a moment on technical difficulties, but we're back on. And it has been quite a game so far for the Garrison Bulldogs, who lead 7-0. They hold the Dragons after they had it 1st and goal on a goal line stand. Now they've driven from the 1-yard line to the 40-yard line, leading 7-0. Bangs. Here is a handoff straight ahead. Christopher going to take it for about 3. Rusty down to about the 37-yard line.
Actually, that was Marcus Solomon, and that's one of the plays that's worked through the course of the year. It's an inside handoff, fake the handoff to the outside. Handed off to the inside, and Marcus Solomon runs that so well. He hits the hole really, really hard, and a good pickup on that play.
7-0 Garrison. By the way, Clayton Norman scooped up a fumble we were only a minute into the ball game, took it in for the only score so far. Nice return, set up a good opportunity for the Dragons. They didn't cash in, though, and now it's 2nd down. Garrison with the ball. Faked by the quarterback. He will run and then will toss at the last moment to Solomon. And a nice run, close. Well, they're going to say it's going to be a 1st down.
Yep.
at about the 29-yard line.
He actually tossed the ball backwards to Solomon, who lost. It was about a 5-yard loss if he'd have kept it and went out of bounds, but he had the first down anyway. Has a very good bootleg play by Chandler. Had the speed to break it to the outside. Defensive end just couldn't catch him.
Again, recapping a fumble that was knocked loose. Clayton Norman carried it into the end zone just seconds into the ball game, and that made it 7-0. A great return by the Dragons all the way to the 30-yard line of Garrison, but they failed to punch it in as the Bulldogs came up with a goal line stand, and now Garrison has marched all the way from the 1-yard line now to a 1st and 10 at the 29 of Bangs. Here's the quarterback with the toss.
Oh, excellent block by Solomon.
Blunt on his feet. Blunt going to be knocked down at about the 18-yard line, close to the first down marker. Good job as he got to the wide side of the field and had plenty of room to run.
He sure did. When he broke the corner, Marcus Solomon, number 22, threw the lead block and give Jaron Blunt plenty of room to run.
It is 7-0. Garrison trying to add to the lead. 4:30 remaining in the opening quarter. Gary Richards along with Rusty Duran with the play-by-play. Wes Chandler at quarterback, I set. In the tailback slot will be Blunt. Blunt will take the handoff straight ahead and takes tacklers with him inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 4.
Number 73, Kevin Turnbow, has been a very busy man so far and made several tackles for the Dragons, but unfortunately he's been giving up ground.
Rusty,
this is Dragons.
This is the 11th play of this drive that began way back at the 1-yard line, 2nd down and 6. Near side hash mark is where the Bulldogs have it. Up to the line of scrimmage is Chandler. He this time will keep on the option, tosses to Blunt. Blunt cuts back inside, got some room, down to about the 10, where he'll be about 2 yards short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.
Jeremy Furness, number 39, the safety, having to come up and make the tackle. The Bulldogs really haven't put the ball in the air yet, Gary, but on the running game have really mixed it up a lot. A bunch of different sets we've seen from the Bulldogs today, and I think that was part of Coach Thompson's game plan, is to try to put some question marks on top of the heads of the Bangs Dragons about who's going to get the ball, where is it going to go.
Mixing it up, he's done that. And that offensive line, too, has done a good job up front.
Excellent job.
Creating some holes when they needed it. 3rd down and about 2. Handoff will go, and not any room there for Christopher to go. He almost looks like he lost his footing at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, Christopher slipping down on the 10-yard line. Looked like the hole he wanted to go through wasn't there. He tried to cut it back and couldn't get his feet all the way up under him. So the Bulldogs going to have a 4th and about 3 situation here.
4th and 3. Line of scrimmage will be the 10-yard line. Big 4th down. Remember, moments ago, the Dragons went for it. 4th down, didn't make it to the goal line. And here comes Garrison gambling on 4th down and a long 2. They're at the 10. They got to get to the 8 to keep it going. Toss to Blunt. Blunt's got it.
He's going to go in.
Touchdown. How sweet it is. Yes. He will score, Blunt. And the Garrison Bulldogs build an early 13-0 lead with 2:20 remaining here in the opening quarter.
Number 51, Shady Hester, pulling on that play, went out there and threw that lead block for Blunt, carried it on into the corner of the end zone, put the Bulldogs on top, 13-0. Well, Gary, we're going to see the ritual here.
I think we are, aren't we? I tell you what, Garrison's well represented. That'll see a sea of maroon. Chandler, who kicked that 37-yard field goal to win it in overtime, out to attempt the extra point try. Here's a kick, and it is good. And it's a 14-0 Garrison lead, folks.
Here in the first quarter.
How sweet it is. We'll be back in 60 seconds on Quality Rock Q107.
Atkinson Body Repair off the Old Lufkin Road, Nacogdoches, is East Texas' smart choice for auto collision repair. Gary Atkinson says, we take pride in our work and pay attention to even the smallest details. Family owned and operated, Atkinson Body Repair offers over 40 years combined experience in quality body and paint work. Recommended and approved by major insurance companies, Atkinson Body Repair does complete auto body repairs, frame straightening, and paint work. Atkinson Body Repair, just off the Old Lufkin Road, Nacogdoches.
You know, our joints are just like any other moving parts. They have a tendency to wear out. When they start to go, constant pain can be a way of life, but it doesn't have to be that way. Dr. Stephen Ballinger, orthopedic surgeon, uses state-of-the-art surgical techniques to replace worn-out joints, putting many back on the road to painless freedom of movement. At Nacogdoches Bone and Joint Clinic, we accept your Medicare and medical insurance towards payment. Call Dr. Stephen Ballinger today at 564-2401.
2 minutes, 20 seconds left to play opening quarter. Good to have you with us today in Waco, Texas. A very windy Waco, Texas under sunny skies. 14-0. It's been all Garrison. Bulldogs big guy, 282 pounds. Clayton Norman took it in following a good hit and a turnover early in the ball game. Clayton took it in from about 15 yards out for a score. Extra point attempt was good. The Dragons came back on a long kickoff return at it first and goal inside the 10, but a goal line stand stopped them. Then Garrison went 99 yards on that drive that resulted in Blunt taking it in for a score. Now the kickoff the other way. Evers fumbled it, picked it up, brings it back out across the 13-yard line. Remember, last time he touched the ball, he went 60 yards on a return to the 30-yard line, but not that time.
Not that time. Punishing tackle by number 45, Michael Rather of the Bulldogs. Is one of those arm around the neck, tear him down tackles. And he might give it to DeBusk next time.
14-0 the score. Garrison on top. Bulldogs lead it. Now we'll see what Bangs does. It's important for Bangs to respond here. Remember, they had great field position, had a first and goal, had a chance to tie the ball game, and the Garrison defense said, no way. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Handoff goes to Jones. That's only the second time we've seen the running back that comes in with over 33 yards rushing today take the ball.
Yeah, Blake Phillips met him after about a couple yards gain, and it's obvious that Jones is a very talented runner. He's got quite a stature for a running back, and, he looks like a tight end, but I'm sure he has real good foot speed, but he hasn't had any running room yet.
Well, he has 2 carries for 12 yards, and we'll see what happens, but that's only the second time he's touched the football today. Second down and about 7. This is the second offensive possession for Bangs. Handoff to the big fullback, Apple, Corey Apple. And Apple is one of those backs that doesn't have real good speed, but he has great leg strength, and he just carried tacklers with him about 4 yards, and it's a first down. Yeah. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line, and the Dragons trail Garrison here by a score of 14-0.
Apple put his head down and ran real hard. The Bulldogs, I think, were fooled. I think they thought that was a fake handoff to the fullback, and the quarterback for the Dragons doing a real good job of faking the handoff there. Quarterback there is number 4, Chris Tilton.
Receivers split wide to each side. Here's the quarterback, first down, and handoff goes straight ahead to Apple again, and Apple will not get much. Garrison Bulldogs were right there to stop him.
Yeah, Phillips, Norman, and look like Daniel Gillis.
Do you get the feeling Norman's a little fired up after scooping that ball? Was that his first touchdown?
I think that's his first touchdown of his career, and he's a 4-year starter.
That's great, isn't it, for a youngster to go through that on a state championship game?
Oh, I tell you what, I know that he's going to remember that all the days of his life.
Second down and 8 facing Bangs. Line of scrimmage will be 27-yard line. Only 1 penalty in the game so far. Here's the long snap down by Tilton, the quarterback, and he will give him to Jones on the dive play, and he gets about 4.
Yeah, Sean Belaris, the cornerback from the right side, coming over to get in on that tackle with Daniel Gillis, number 54.
We're talking about these defensive guys. You got Rather and Connell playing a defensive end. Norman, which has already made a big play today, Wright, Dexter Price, Solomon Phillips, Gillis, Hester, Belaris, Barton, Blunt, Harris. All those guys have done a great job.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
End of 1 quarter of play, 14-0. Garrison on top, back in 60 seconds here on Quality Rock Q107.
Today, there's a newer ER. At Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital, we've improved patient care and comfort with our new Level 3 Trauma Center. Today, there's a faster ER. At Memorial Hospital, we've instituted the Fast Track program, which enables less severe cases to be seen by a doctor faster, while more critical injuries go straight to the ER. Today, there is a better ER. At Memorial, we've always had the most caring staff and state-of-the-art equipment. Now we have the facility that makes us newer, faster, and better. Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital. The future is ours.
In 1963, an insurance agency was born around one simple idea: service matters. Today, that insurance agency is celebrating 40 years of growth. 4 decades later, Joe Max Green Insurance Concepts is one of the top 100 agencies in the nation. And the single factor most responsible for that growth is service. To our employees, our customers, and the people of East Texas, thank you. Joe Max Green Insurance Concepts. Service still matters.
14-0 Garrison as we get ready to begin the second quarter. And how many people have come to the stadium? Well, I see a few West Texas covered wagons out there in the pasture parked out there. I tell you, there's just a few people that have come to this ball game to enjoy it today. 5 state championship games in the state of Texas in each of the Division II classifications. And here we go with Garrison off to a great start, leading 14-0, Rusty, and a big third down coming up for Bangs. 3rd down and 3. They operate from the 31-yard line, near side hash mark. Tilton remains at quarterback, and here we go. Split backs, receiver will go in motion from the near side.
Handoff up the middle
to Jones, and Jones will not get the first down.
It don't look like he got it to me, Gary.
No, good job by penetration by the Garrison defense again coming up.
Yeah, it looked like number 65, Jedi Thomas, that time coming up there to stick him.
Sean Bolaris, too.
Yeah, number 9, Sean Bolaris has played an excellent game so far.
And it's 4th down and 1, and I would think punting time, but we'll see. 14-0.
Well, they got the wind to their back, and surely they'd want to pin the Bulldogs back. You don't want to turn the ball over down here, but looks like they're going to go for it, Gary.
Yeah, it does. No punting unit coming in. Here we go, folks. 4th down, less than a yard. About a half yard needed for the first. Quarterback going for it. Will hand off straight ahead, and
looked like Jones got... No, it was Apple.
It was Apple that took it. They faked it to Jones, and then Apple took the ball and got the first down.
Yeah, it looked like he got about 2 yards.
Well, that was a gutsy call. And it's great when you convert on it, but it can really mean disaster if you don't. Well, they avoided disaster by just getting enough yardage for the first down.
Coach Bo Robinson obviously not scared of being the heel.
7-year head coach of these Bangs Dragons. Receiver split wide to each side, split backs operating behind the quarterback. Short drop, looking across the middle. Ball is deflected and intercepted.
Harris caught it.
And was immediately tackled.
Justin Harris, number 2, catching that ball about the 48-yard line.
And then Bobby Evers immediately tackled him. He had no chance to return it, but the ball deflected by one of the linemen way up in the air, and he had forever to come down with it, and Harris got good hands anyway.
Gary, I didn't see who it was. Of course, those boys, they'll watch the film, and they'll know who it was, but somebody just got their hand up, batted the ball way up in the air, way down the field. Justin Harris playing center field for the Bulldogs out there at safety, reeled that thing in, and Bulldogs get it to go going the other way.
They're going against the wind here in the second quarter, and it is a stiff wind. First down, here's Chandler. 46-yard line following the interception and no place to go.
Flag down.
Solomon, the ball carrier, and yeah, as he just mentioned, flag has been thrown, and we'll see what the officials decide to call here in just a moment.
Illegal motion against the Bulldogs.
That's, I believe, if I'm counting correctly, only the second penalty of the game.
I think so, and both of them have been against the Bulldogs, so...
14-0 is the score, and now the officials are going to come talk things over here with the coaches on both sides.
Wherever legal procedure on the offense. Penalty is declined. Second down.
Oh, the penalty declined, according to the official.
Well, I don't understand that, Gary. I guess they thought that down was more valuable than those 5 yards.
Well, it's penalty declined, as you just heard the official. It is going to be second down and 10. Chandler will put a man in motion. That'll be Solomon to the left side. Quarterback on the option. Chandler is going to be buried.
Chandler would know where to go. It looked like who was that? Number 21, Apple, coming up there and getting him around the feet. He wasn't able to make the pitch.
It seemed like he didn't know which way he wanted to execute that play or how he wanted to, and it was indecision, I guess that's the word I'm looking for on his part, that spelled doom, because Apple came crashing through, knocked him down for a loss, and it's 3rd and 12 now facing Garrison. Bulldogs lead it 14-0. Garrison up early. We're early in the second quarter. 9:58 left to play in the second quarter.
We'll see what Coach Thompson calls here.
Up to the line of scrimmage is the quarterback, Chandler. He gets a little pass out in the flat to Blunt, but Blunt has no place to go.
Yeah, no gain on the play.
And for the first time today, we'll see the punting unit in for the Garrison Bulldogs.
Jeremy Furnish, number 39, in on that tackle, and he's been has really saved saved the Dragons on a couple tackles. We'll see what the Bulldogs can do with it right here. Number 5, obviously, Bobby Evers, a dangerous returner.
And Blunt to punt. He'll stand back at his 31-yard line on the near side hash mark, waiting the snap from center. Here comes the snap from center. Here's the kick. It's a wobbly kick. Awful kick against the wind. And off the side of his foot, not going to travel but about 15 yards. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Talk about a big break. Bangs Dragons get a huge break there because they'll have good field position because of the poor kick.
Well, that declining that penalty and making the Bulldogs lose that down is looking pretty big now since we questioned his decision on that. Looks like to be the best decision for the Dragons. And we'll see if the Bulldogs can put on a stop here or get another turnover like they already have.
1st down, line of scrimmage will be the 40-yard line. Tilton, the quarterback, will put a man in motion. That man will take the handoff. Evers has got some room. Nice job getting outside, then turning it upfield close to the 1st down marker. He's knocked out right at the 50-yard line. And for this Bangs team to get back in the ball game, they really need to get something going here.
Yeah, they've done a few things right on offense, but they've been really uninventive. They haven't run anything that surprises you very much, just kind of run right at you. Bulldogs are a very physical team. That's not going to work all game.
1st down and 10 at the 50-yard line, right at midfield. 14-0 Garrison, but here comes Bangs. Tilton, the quarterback, he'll send Evers in motion. Will hand straight ahead to Apple, and Apple will have no place to go.
Met straight up by Spider-Man, number 66, Russell Wright.
And Norman was there also, 282 pounds and pure beef. I guess, what is that, grade A beef?
Grade A, number 1, U.S. choice beef.
2nd down, or muscle, I beg your pardon. 2nd down and 9. Facing Bangs after a gain of only 1. They're at the 49-yard line of the Garrison Bulldogs. Stiff breeze. And right now, a good situation with Garrison in front, but they want to put out the fire here. Handoff goes straight ahead for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, it looked like Apple got the carry again.
He's been the workhorse. He managed to get down to about the 45 where it'll bring up 3rd and 5, and this is a team that hadn't put it in the air at all.
Yeah, they only put it in the air that one time, and they probably shouldn't have. Give up a turnover. Jones really hadn't got the ball as much as I was expecting him to get it.
No, and he carried the ball pretty well. He's only carried 3 times, but we'll see what happens here. 3rd down, 5, 45-yard line. Quarterback will give on the dive. They won't get the 1st down. 3-yard gain. It'll be 4th and about 2. Remember what they did last time on 4th down. That time Jones was the ball carrier, but only the 4th time today.
Yep, Jedi Thomas and Michael Rather converging on that tackle. I don't know. To run for 3,000 yards in the season, you got to have a lot of carries, Gary.
4th down, I think Garrison Bulldog defense has done a very good job. And that goal line stand moments ago, huge, with Bangs having a 1st and goal all the way down inside the 5-yard line and then couldn't push it in. 4th and 2, they're going for it at the 42-yard line. Got to get inside the 40.
He's not going to get there.
Jones is going to be a yard short.
Stuffed.
Again, the Garrison defense, big play Garrison defense, does its job again.
Yep, Chambalaris blew up the blocker, made way for Daniel Gillis to come in there and put the stop on him. Of course, then several Bulldogs gang tackle at the end of the play.
1st down from the 42-yard line. Garrison will take over. The defense has done its job. 2 turnovers they've forced, and they've had 2 times that they've stopped this Dragons team with great opportunities. One of the big ones, of course, a goal line stand a while ago. And Garrison will take over leading 14-0 from the 41-yard line. Chandler hands outside to McAllister, and he carries and is going to be slammed out of bounds at about the 46-yard line, very close to a penalty marker there. But
yeah, Furness had him by the shoulder pads and slung him out of bounds. McAllister is not very big. We'll see what he's listed as. 150, and that could be a little generous, but he's very fast.
You're going to see Solomon, McAllister, and, of course, Blunt, Christopher. That's just the way Jimmy Thompson is. He's not a one-man guy. He likes to use his team.
They might let Chandler keep it, too.
You bet. 2nd down, 6 needed for the first, 46-yard line, the line of scrimmage.
McAllister
again, McAllister, and he goes to the left side for about 2. It'll bring up 3rd down.
It looked like number 7, Jacoby Jones, having to come up and make that tackle there.
3rd down and 3 facing Garrison from the 49-yard line, and they'll have to get it down to about the 48-yard line to pick up a first down.
Yeah, we were in this situation on the last series and threw a pass to the outside where apparently they had done their homework on that particular play. So we'll see what Coach Thompson pulls this time.
Wes Chandler up to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 3. Here's the handoff straight ahead, first down.
Who was the ball carrier, Gary?
Well,
hard to tell. It was number 3, Marquise McAllister.
He keeps being a workhorse, and he keeps getting the job done, and he gets the first down at the 46-yard line. Now, if Garrison can score on this possession, they'll really be in great shape, up 14-0. But they're making the plays, Rusty, you got to make.
That's
to
right.
Win a championship game.
And the Bulldogs really putting it on the top shelf here.
Line of scrimmage at quarterback Wes Chandler. Everybody in tight. Handoff goes straight ahead to Christopher, and he's got some room down inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. Harold Christopher. We've seen McAllister.
Harold Christopher didn't get to play in this game the last time the Bulldogs came. He had carried the ball a lot for the Bulldogs, but got a broken leg the last game of district and stood on the sidelines with crutches.
This has got to be really special for him. 2nd down and 7. Here's on the misdirection of Blunt. Blunt's going to be buried for a loss.
Yeah,
play never really unfolded, and too many unblocked tacklers. Snyder was a man who really wrapped it up on him. A sophomore linebacker came and wrapped him up for the stop, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Yep, Snyder shot the gap that time and just happened to be in the right place at the right time. That don't always work, shooting the gap, but it did that particular time.
3rd down, 10. And really for the Dragons, they've got to stop Garrison here. If they don't, they could be a long day because they're already down 14-0. And the second quarter winding down, 4:46 left to play. Wes Chandler remains at quarterback, 3rd down and 10 in this situation.
Jumbo offset line.
They'll send a man in motion. That'll be Christopher to the left side. Play action, back to throw. Looking downfield and a pass incomplete.
Well, we got flags from everywhere. Blake Phillips, the tight end, tried to come clean, but the defensive back grabbed a big handful of his jersey and and rode him down the field.
Well, we'll listen to the official here in just a minute to see what he says, but it's going to be a holding
call. Initial call is against the Dragons.
And I tell you what, it will be a big, big penalty against the Dragons and a huge break for the Garrison Bulldogs is what it amounts to. And here comes the official marking it off now, and it'll be a first down all the way down to about the...
We have defensive holding against the eligible pass receivers, so automatic first down.
First down, as the official said, automatic first down. And that will mark it at the 36-yard line.
Well, Chandler wisely threw that ball away just in case that they didn't get the call. At least they'd get the ball back on the line of scrimmage. He had no other options.
First down, up to the line of scrimmage, Chandler. One running back, McAllister. He'll take the toss. Will go nowhere. And it will be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, number 2, Landon Brush, coming up to meet McAllister in the gap there. We're going to see 85 Nathan Walker, extra tight end, checking back in, so it's going to be a 2 tight end set this time.
Well, you're looking at 4 minutes, 8 seconds left here in the second quarter before halftime. 14-0 Garrison. Wouldn't it be nice to eat up the remaining time and punch it in the end zone?
Yeah, I think that would. Boy, if you could have things go your way, that'd be what we'd do. It'd take 3 minutes and 50 seconds to get it in the end zone from here.
2 turnovers, but they both belong to Bangs. Here's the quarterback in motion, Christopher left side. Chandler will keep on the option, has a hole, gets inside the 35 to about the 34, and another penalty marker is down. And we'll check the official and see what the call is here in just a moment. But right now it's all Garrison, 14-0 is the score. It's going to be a holding call, though, and that one going to go against the Bulldogs.
Against the Bulldogs.
And so that will be a big break for the Dragons. Been, for the most part, a penalty-free game, but we have had a few penalty markers, especially here in recent history, and now this one will go the other way against the Bulldogs.
Holding on the offense. Replay. Second down.
Wind's really whipping.
Yeah, as you pick up the wind, that wind coming from the mic of the official, who's mic down on the field. Second down and a mile. Second down on that penalty. 46-yard line. Bangs is the line of scrimmage. Got to go second at 27. 27 yardage needed for the first. Play action fake. Quarterback Chandler in the pocket throws. Complete. Blunt
catches it on the run.
20, 10. Touchdown. Yeah, high stepping it. How sweet it is.
Number 1, Jaron Blunt. What a beautiful pass from Wes Chandler. Chandler put it in the only place that he could have caught it. Beautiful pass.
Oh, yeah. That's the second touchdown of the first half for Blunt. And the Garrison Bulldogs are on top 20-0. 3:20 left to play. Trying to measure how long a pass completion that was.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, what, about 46, 45 yards?
I think you're right. Uh-oh. They don't know what to do. Somebody lost the towel. Here it is.
You can't do it without the towel now.
Man,
you know that.
Bruiser had the towel. Play clock down to 9.
And Chandler going to attempt the extra point, and here's the kick, and it is a little wobbly, and it's no good. No good. And Garrison Bulldogs go in front 20-0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on Quality Rock Q107.
It's a good time to reflect on why cooperatives stand out as beacons of good business and democratic principles. At Deep East Texas Electric Cooperative, our members are treated as if they own the company, because in fact they do. We have pledged to not only provide high-quality, reliable electric service, but to work for community interests as a good neighbor. Cooperative employees volunteer alongside cooperative members at local schools, churches, civic clubs, and ballparks. It's part of our commitment to our members and community. Deep East, we are here to stay.
Nobody beats Gown Chevrolet. Right now at Gown Chevrolet in Nacogdoches, buy any new 04 Silverado LS extended cab for just $357 down, $357 a month. That's a brand new 04 extended cab with V8, automatic, CD, keyless entry, all power for just $357 down, $357 a month. Or how about an all-new 04 Chevy Malibu, just $310 down, $310 a month. That's right, a new 04 Malibu with V6, automatic, all power, keyless entry, CD, and more, just $310 down, $310 a month at Gown Chevrolet. And right now, buy America's best-selling compact car, the Chevy Cavalier, for just $189 down, $189 a month. A new 04 Cavalier, automatic with CD, just $189 down, $189 a month from Gown Chevrolet in Nacogdoches, 1015 North Street. And remember, if you don't buy from Gown, it'll cost you. Chevrolet will be there. See dealer for details.
Squib kick for the Garrison Bulldogs. It only goes down to about the 40-yard line where it's going to be recovered. And I believe the Dragons fall on it. They do. They'll have possession from the 41-yard line, but it is 20-0 Garrison. They missed the extra point try after that touchdown catch by Blunt, his second touchdown of the game. And what I really like about Blunt, Rusty, is his ability to both run and catch the ball. He had a touchdown catch last week. This one not quite as impressive, but it gets it done. And with the exception of a missed extra point, Garrison's done a super job as the score reflects. 20-0 here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Jaron Blunt, he can run like a gazelle.
Up to the line of scrimmage, quarterback Tilton will put a man in motion. That'll be DeBusk. Ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted again.
Norman tipped it, number 77. He was on the pass rush. He was the closest man to the quarterback. He went to throw it. Norman just stuck his hand up there and kind of got a finger on it. Blake Phillips had a chance at it, but couldn't quite get to it.
Garrison has come up with 2 turnovers, one of them on a deflected interception. The other one, Norman scooped up a fumble and scored early in the ball game. 2 times the Dragons have been held on downs also by Garrison. Tilton up to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line. This time he will give to Jones. Jones got room 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, all the way down to the 33-yard line before he's going to finally be knocked down by Blunt and a host of Garrison tacklers down to the 33-yard line. It'll be, they're going to mark it at the 34. Big play there by Jones. Longest run from scrimmage today for this Dragons team, and they really need to score here to get back in this ball game down to Garrison 20-0. You just hope that missed extra point try doesn't come back and haunt Garrison later on. 2:55 left to play here before halftime.
Well, Jones looking a little stronger on that run there.
Evers wide to one side, DeBus wide to the other. Toss to Jones, wide side, cuts back. Going to be knocked down after a very short gain.
21, Bradley Barton, coming in from the cornerback spot, taking his legs out from under him. Bradley has had an infection in his elbow, in his right elbow this week, and I've been to the doctor with it several times. It's real swelled up. You'll notice you can see that he's got a bandage on that right elbow and playing in a lot of pain today.
Second down and about 9 needed for the first. Here comes Bangs. They'll have the 33-yard line of Garrison will be the line of scrimmage. They'll have a receiver Evers split near side, power I. 3 running backs. Who will they go to? Jones. Jones at the 35, inside the 30, I beg your pardon, to the 30, inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Daniel Gillis, number 54, making a tackle.
And Garrison, well, the defense bends just a little bit but never breaks. And that's why you got the shutout going so far. And the clock running with 1:45 left to play before halftime. 3rd down and 5 at the 29-yard line of Garrison. Here come the Dragons. Evers split wide to one side, DeBus to the other. Tilton remains at quarterback, split backs. Will give straight ahead. Apple will not get the first down. He lunges, and I tell you, Blake Phillips has played a heck of a game, hasn't he?
Blake Phillips coming up. It looked like that the coaches had told him what the play was that time.
4th down and 2, Rusty. And a clock becoming a little bit of a factor now, with 1:10 left to play.
Yeah, we'll soon be ticking in under a minute when they snap this ball. And Bangs has yet to score, have only threatened once.
Well, they had a 1st and goal, but you remember the goal line stand?
Right.
They had it at the 1-yard line on 4th down and didn't get it in. And here they go, 4th and 2 at the 26-yard line. A quarterback will give to Jones. Jones,
he's not going to get it.
I don't think he's going to make it. No,
held up by several Bulldogs. Look like Devin Connell, Clayton Norman,
and
Bradley Barton.
That'll be the 3rd time today Garrison has held them on 4th down and short. 1st and 10, Garrison Bulldogs from the 25-yard line.
Gary, I think the play calling today has played right into the hands of the Bulldog defense. There's just not a whole lot of room to run on the Bulldogs in the middle of the field, and spreading it out has worked with a little bit of success, but the corners, Bradley Barton and Sean Belaires, have really stubbed all of that.
And Bangs, both times they've attempted to pass, the ball has been deflected.
That's right.
1st down and 10, and Garrison's just going to sit on the ball with 39 seconds, going to go to a knee, and that may be the last play of the first half. We'll see as Chandler will go to a knee, and the Garrison Bulldogs will go to the locker room with a 20-0 lead.
Yep, they won't have to snap the ball again, Gary. They can just let it lay there.
Well, when you're up 20-0 and you're going against the wind, why not just run out the clock? You got things well under control. 3 times the Garrison Bulldog defense has stopped them on 4th down. How about that?
Well, I tell you what, those Bulldogs have looked real tough on defense today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Garrison Bulldogs are 2 quarters away from their first state title, have dominated here in the first half. We go to the locker room at halftime, 20-0. We'll be back with halftime activities live from Waco after these messages. Very good year this year, but they've had some great tradition there at Trinity Valley. Coach Sartain doing a good job, and it'll be his 2nd year coming up next year.
Even some smaller schools putting in that turf. ARP put in some of this turf.
And I guess it's not as the new turf now doesn't cause near the injuries. It's a little bit more like grass. Plus, the expense of it isn't quite what it once was. So I think if people can afford it, school districts can afford it, you're going to see it go up. And the big advantage, of course, is during bad weather, you don't have to worry about mud anymore.
No, and it's very flat.
Here comes the kick, and it's going to be deep and headed for the end zone, and out with a touchback will be the Garrison Bulldogs. Again, the second half leading 20-0.
Gary, I just wasn't expecting that. That boy lined up like they were going to squib it, and he really didn't take many steps, and he kicked it, of course, with the wind.
And that wind is blowing at a pretty rapid pace. It's up about 25, 30 miles an hour. So That wind helped it along, believe me, to the left side.
Not very much effort and put the ball into the end zone.
Garrison will be happy with a 20-0 lead, I guarantee, though, to start 1st and 10 from the 20. And remember, one of those drives, 99 yards, Rusty, after they turned them back on the goal line stand.
That's right, and Bulldogs try 80-yarder right here.
Here's Chandler to the line of scrimmage at quarterback on the first play from the second half. Dive play to the left side is going to be good for about 4 yards.
Harold Christopher, the ball carrier, and Harold done a lot of good running this year.
4 yards on that carry for Christopher. Good beginning. 2nd down, 6. Bulldogs shuttling in players. Marcus Solomon going to come in from the sideline as Wes Chandler will remain the Garrison quarterback, doing a great job.
The Bulldogs platooning also at center. Looks like Travis Holman just checked out, and Rex Johnson checked in, snapped the ball.
Here's Chandler up to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down, 6. Toss going left side, and no place to go, but a penalty marker is
flag
down.
in the air. They must have blown the whistle. Gary and I can't hear the whistle from here, but they must have blown the whistle before that play got all the way underway, because Christopher didn't look like he, when he took the pitch, he just kind of stood up.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Replay, 2nd down.
So there you have it. Straight from the horse's mouth. 2nd down. I've heard officials call worse, haven't you?
Personally, I've...
2nd down and 11. Here's the line. Here they go from the line of scrimmage at the 19-yard line. Garrison Bulldogs with Chandler at quarterback. He will send men to the left side and will toss to that side to Blunt. Blunt is going to escape one tackler, but not another, but he does manage to get across the 20 to about the 21-yard line and picks up a little bit of yardage, but well short of the 1st down. The Dragons know if they got any chance in this ball game, they've got to stop Garrison on this drive and get the ball back and get some points on the board, because they're down 20-0 here in the 3rd quarter. Blocking up front, we want to mention that Travis Holman, the offensive center, doing a great job. Gillis, of course, and Hester, the 2 guards. Tackles are Clayton Norman and Russell Wright. That offensive line doing a good job for the Bulldogs. 3rd down and 8. Line of scrimmage to the 21. Split backs. Quarterback will give on the reverse to Christopher. He's got some room, but not enough to get the 1st down. He got across the 23 to about the 24-yard line.
That reverse gives you a big field to run on, but it's hard to pick up positive yards.
A lot of east and west running, but not north and south is what you're trying to say, and it's going to be 4th down, 6.
Well, Solomon did the best he could on that, but he had too many men stayed home that time.
And he's got a kick against the wind. Blunt does. Only the 2nd time he's had to punt today. Stands back at around the 10-yard line on the near side hash mark, ready for the snap from center. Evers, who had a nice kickoff return, is back deep to receive. Up, wobbly kick off the side of his foot, shanked it out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Only about a 3-yard kick.
Gary, I think Cooper DeBusk, number 11, might have got a little bit of a piece of that ball. The way it came out sideways like that, it looked like he got a hand on it a little bit.
He may have. It's a big break. It might as well be a turnover, because it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line of the Garrison Bulldogs.
Well, I saw Blunt trying to explain it to Coach Thompson, and Coach Thompson wasn't
too impressed.
Well, he wasn't. He didn't want to hear anybody's explanation.
Well, let's just put it this way. He doesn't like he's got the winning lottery ticket. 1st down. Here they come up to the 33-yard line of Garrison. Quarterback Tilton will give to Jones. Jones is going to be knocked down at about the 29-yard line. Good penetration, and Blunt says, "You're not going to carry me 4 or 5 yards this time, guy."
No. And Jaron Blunt is a very good tackler, and he's good at putting his head down and making a stop, especially when the game's on the line.
2nd down, 5. Line of scrimmage, and the Dragons looking to get the goose egg off the scoreboard. Going to be the 29-yard line of the Bulldogs. Receiver split wide each side. Evers will be one of those eye set. Quarterback with Jones in the tailback slot. Goes straight ahead to Apple. Apple's got room all the way inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for this Bangs team. They've suddenly woken up.
Yeah, it looked like he had the end zone in mind, but Daniel Gillis had him by the ankle and brought him down at about the 19-yard line. But the closer it gets to the end zone, Gary, the the littler the field gets, the harder it is to score on the Bulldogs. We'll see what they can put up right here.
20-0 the score. Garrison on top. First down. Here's the quarterback with the key to give to Jones. Jones has got room inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line.
Well, Daniel Gillis was the first man there and really was on the ground, didn't have the ability to make that tackle. Bradley Barton had to come up and make the stop after a 5-yard gain.
Second down and 5. Line of scrimmage will be the Garrison 13-yard line. And after that botched punt, it's a great opportunity for this Bangs team to get on the scoreboard. Second down, line of scrimmage again about the 13-yard line. Tilton with a short snap count. Hand off to Apple, and he's going to be met after a gain of only 1 up. Late shove. I'm looking for the official to throw that flag. Thank goodness he didn't.
Looked like number 76, Dexter Price, blowing that play up in the middle, and he was actually got tripped over. But, you know, there's a lot to be said for being at the right place and the right time. So number 76, Dexter Price, coming up big for the Bulldogs there on second down.
Third down and 2. Now facing this Bangs team just outside the 11-yard line of Garrison, the line of scrimmage. Third down, receiver split wide to each side. High formation, quarterback up to the line of scrimmage. Play action, back to throw, across the middle, deflected again.
He threw it right to Gillis, and Gillis batted it down. Of course, wasn't expecting that ball. I didn't see a receiver in there. Did you, Gary?
There was a receiver, but it was just deflected. And I tell you, I don't know if it's because he throws the ball so low, but all 3 pass attempts they've had have been deflections today.
That's right. They've tried to throw 3 times, and Bulldogs put their hand on it all 3 times.
And he looks like, if you watch him, he looks like he just throws it low, and that's a dangerous. You need to put that ball up.
Slinging from the hip.
Fourth down and 2, and here's another big 4th down and 2 facing this Dragons team. Hand off to
Apple. Gets it. He's not going to have it.
I don't think he will. He tried to keep his legs churning, and Big Clayton Norman says it's a first down.
Yep.
Fourth time today, Garrison has stopped him on 4th and short.
Looked like Big Dexter Price clogged that thing up in the middle. And I tell you what, the Bulldogs really showing a lot of strength on defense today, especially right in the middle of the field.
Well, if you look at the yardage, the total yardage is pretty even between the two teams. But the difference is the defense bending but not breaking. And here we go again as they stop the Dragons on another great scoring opportunity. I mean, you just can't go that far deep in somebody's end and not come away with points and win a ball game like this.
No, you've got to put some points on the board when you get in striking distance.
20-0 the score. Here's the handoff going straight ahead of McAllister, and he's greeted at the line of scrimmage. And Garrison really hasn't done anything much here in the second half offensively.
Cade Ralto, number 54, meeting McAllister at the line of scrimmage that time.
You know, we talked about Clayton Norman's size. I tell you, old Russell Wright's no midget, is he?
No, Russell, he probably, there's no telling how many cheeseburgers he ate yesterday.
Second down. Were they greasy?
Oh, yeah, greasy. Kind you can see through a paper bag.
Second down and 10. Here's the quarterback, tosses to Blunt, left side. Blunt looking for some room, and he's going to be good for about 3, and that's going to be about it, if he gets that.
Yeah, he had a good lead block, but then he slowed down the pursuit from the backside, kind of rounded him up.
Well, you can tell this Dragon team's frustrated. They have had some great opportunities, and that was the second-best opportunity they let slip through their fingers because they got it all the way down to about the 10-yard line before Garrison turned them back. And they keep getting the opportunities but come up with no points. 20-0 Garrison here in the third quarter. Garrison facing 3rd and 8. Need a big play here as Chandler up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Short snap count. Handoff goes to McAllister. He's met by a host of Dragons, and it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, he lost about 3 yards back to the 10-yard line. And the Bulldogs really having a hard time getting something going on offense here earlier in the second half. And pinned back with bad field position. Looks like they're fixing to call on the defense to put up another big stop against this Bangs Dragons offense.
Bobby Evers, the ever-dangerous punt return artist, back deep, but he'll stand only at the 40-yard line of Garrison. Back in the end zone is Blunt, and he's punting against the wind, folks. Keep that in mind, and this is about a 25, 30-mile-an-hour wind that he's punting against. Here's the snap from center. Here's the kick, and it's a low-line
kick.
drive
He actually
kick.
got a good one off there.
And it's going to be taken by Evers for a return of about 5 yards. Good coverage. But nevertheless, it'll be good field position again. And here's another thing, too, for this Dragons team. They need to take advantage of the wind to their back here.
They turned the ball over in one of these situations in the first half, and we'll see if the Bulldogs can get a takeaway. Really, they turned the ball over twice, and the Bulldogs have really forced both of them. And we'll see, maybe these Bulldog defense can get another takeaway here.
First down and 10 at the 35-yard line of Garrison. Tilton, the quarterback, will toss to the left side to Jones. Jones, halfback pass, looking for his man, incomplete. He had a man that was well covered, though, but it was beyond his fingertips, brush downfield.
Yep, Landon Brush, and the safeties had him, it looked like, but Jones's pass was uncatchable.
Yeah, you've yet to complete a pass today, and you can tell that this Bangs team, they're just not a pass team. They like to just keep it on the ground and come right at you, but that doesn't work against Garrison, or hasn't so far. Second down and 10.
No, sir, it's hard to run up the middle on the Bulldogs.
And 3 of their 4 pass attempts have been deflected by somebody on that defensive line. Second down and 10. In motion. We'll go a receiver. Handoff straight ahead to Jones. Jones has got some room. Down inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line as he carried maroon jerseys with him. And the Dragons, if they manage to get on the scoreboard in this offensive possession, will be back in the ballgame. But if they don't, it could be a little bit easier for the Bulldogs to clinch their first ever state title.
Yeah, now Chambalaris making that tackle that time, having a hard time bringing Jones down. And Jones losing his shoe. And
now he's close to 100 yards on the day now. All right, here we go. Third down and 3. Third and 3. Big third down at the 28-yard line of Garrison. Tilton on the dive play.
Jones again. Looked like he got the first down.
Yeah, just with about a half yard to maybe or the nose of the football to spare. He managed to get inside the 25, and it is a first down. Move the sticks. 4:04 left to play third quarter. It remains 20-0 Garrison, but the Bulldog offense has disappeared here in the second half, due in part to poor field position on both possessions. But just unable to get it going. But the defense just keeps on slamming the door on the Dragons. Stopped them on 4th down and 2 earlier in the quarter. First down and 10 at the 24-yard line. Here's Tilton straight ahead to Apple. He's going to get maybe 2, and that'll be about it.
Russell Wright and several other, Clayton Norman, a couple other Bulldogs, Jedi Thomas converging on that tackle on Apple. And Apple quite a load to take down. Number 21, he is listed as 230 pounds. He's the fullback. And he's got wide shoulders and runs very hard.
And we might mention Jones, the running back, is Baylor bound. He'll be playing for the Bears.
That's right.
Right here in Waco. Second down, not this stadium, but here in Waco. Second down and 8. Here's the quarterback. Hands off to Jones. Jones met hard after a gain of only 2. And, you know, the thing about it, Garrison knows what's coming. They know that they're going to keep it on the ground, and when you do that, it makes it easier to defend.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have a steady diet of Apple up the middle and Jones around the side. That time, Chambalaris came up and met Jones head-to-head. Chambalaris giving up a little bit in the weight division there.
2 minutes, 49 seconds remaining third quarter. Third down and about 6. Line of scrimmage, the 20-yard line. Tilton short snap, drops back to throw. Rolling left under pressure. Going to be sacked.
Oh, no. Face mask. 3 flags came in there, Gary.
Yeah, the penalties markers will be
Chris Thomas and Marcus Solomon on the defense.
And that's going to be about, you called it just right there.
Well, if it's a 5-yarder, it'll be 4th. Well, I don't know.
Well, we'll let the zebras sort through it here and find out.
I hate to guess what they're going to call here.
Well, we'll hear what the official has to say here in just a minute. But not a good penalty to have at this stage of the ball game. Garrison leading 20-0.
Personal foul. Fake pass.
Well, Gary, and he did call it a personal foul, and so that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, which I think inside the 20, they're going to call that half the distance to the goal line. Isn't that right?
Right, and it'll mark it down to the 10-yard line where it'll be a first down. Well, here comes Bangs trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time today with 2:17 remaining in the third quarter. Penalty gives them a great situation, first and goal, just inside the 10. Handoff goes to Jones. He's going to get down to about the 6-yard line for a gain of 4. Problem, too, when you have this conservative-style offense that you stick with, it takes time to score.
Sure does. We've almost eat up the whole third quarter.
It's hard for you to come back on a team, and Garrison, if they could just get the ball back and sit on it for a while, would be in good shape, even if they score here.
Well, Bangs has done a good job of sitting on it for the Bulldogs right here. We've used up almost the whole first quarter, a minute, 40 seconds left to play. And Bangs with no opportunity for a first down. It's score or turnover right here.
2nd down and 6. At the 6 on 2nd and goal. Tilton, the quarterback, tosses to Jones. Jones trying to escape a tackler. Solomon wouldn't let go, and he got to about the 5-yard line where it'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, I thought he had Solomon beat there for a second, but Marcus didn't give up. Kept grabbing something and grabbed the tag on the back of his jersey, I think.
Well, the Garrison defense just keeps on plugging, don't they? A minute 10 left to play, third period.
Well, they've really showed strong here, and Gary, if they hold the Dragons out of the end zone here, it's going to be a major victory.
You can count on that. 3rd and goal at the 5. Here's the quarterback rolling, looking to throw, looking in the end zone, and it is again deflected.
Clayton Norman, number 77, just mirrors the quarterback down the line. When he threw it, he just stuck his hand up and knocked it down.
4th down and goal.
And he did that like he'd planned on doing that.
Well, he just keeps throwing that ball low. Have you noticed that? He doesn't put it up. You got to put it up. When you're in, especially when you're down inside the 20-yard line of opponent, you got to put something on that ball, and you got to get it upstairs.
Gary, don't you know those fence leaners over there from Bangs are saying that same thing?
Sure. And, Garrison's defensive linemen are not the shortest people in the world either. They get those hands up.
Oh, they're big old boys.
4th down and goal at the 5, and going for it. Got to down 20-0.
He moved.
Yeah, and that's a penalty that'll go against Bangs.
Bangs really hurting their opportunity here to score in the third quarter.
Illegal precision.
Official call is against the Dragons.
Ref dead ball. Ball start on the offense. Replay, 4th down.
There you have it from the official down on the field. So it'll be 4th and goal on the penalty at the 10-yard line. So if Garrison can hold right here, they're in great shape with a 20-0 lead. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Up to the line of scrimmage, the quarterback, Tilton, will send a man in motion.
He's looking to throw again.
Going to be sacked by Blunt. Blindsided by Blunt. He never saw him coming.
No, he came on the safety blitz from the right side. Nobody picked him up. Nobody saw him. And he just slams Tilton down very hard. Tilton gets up, going to the sideline with his head down.
I tell you, if I had to select a player of the game, Blunt would be my player of the game right now.
Well, I tell you what, he has made some terrific plays for the Bulldogs.
He has on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Smart player, too. He has a good sense of where he needs to be, and that's a huge sack. And fifth time on 4th down that Garrison has slammed the door in the face of the Dragons.
I tell you what, that has really shown strong on the Bulldogs defense.
Keeps it a 20-0 game with 38 seconds left in the third period. A mix-up on the play, but that's okay. Chandler keeps it. He's got room. 30, across the 30, keeps going to the 33-yard line. A gain of about 21st and 10, Garrison.
Finally,
a busted play, and he just came out of a crowd with it and started running.
Yeah, run the busted play again. Number 39, Jeremy Furness, finally rounding Chandler up. I think they've met before, Gary, earlier in the game. But Furness making a tackle after a gain of about, about 25 yards.
First down, 33-yard line, near side hash mark, the line of scrimmage. Clock rolling with 19 seconds left to play in the third period. And the Bulldogs 1 quarter away now, folks, from their first ever state championship. Up to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback Chandler tosses on the reverse to Christopher. He's got some room at the 35. Going to be run out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. And boy,
Marcus Solomon, number 22, delivering the hit himself. He had a big head of steam up around the left side, got about 5 yards, and defensive back come up to make the stop, and Solomon knocked him out of bounds.
That's the end of the third quarter. It's 20-0 Garrison. Back in 60 seconds on Quality Rock Q107.
Today, there's a newer ER. At Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital, we've improved patient care and comfort with our new Level 3 Trauma Center. Today, there's a faster ER. At Memorial Hospital, we've instituted the Fast Track program, which enables less severe cases to be seen by a doctor faster, while more critical injuries go straight to the ER. Today, there is a better ER. At Memorial, we've always had the most caring staff and state-of-the-art equipment. Now we have the facility that makes us newer, faster, and better. Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital. The future is ours.
It's a good time to reflect on why cooperatives stand out as beacons of good business and democratic principles. At Deep East Texas Electric Cooperative, our members are treated as if they own the company, because in fact they do. We have pledged to not only provide high-quality, reliable electric service, but to work for community interests as a good neighbor. Cooperative employees volunteer alongside cooperative members at local schools, churches, civic clubs, and ballparks. It's part of our commitment to our members and community. Deep East, we're here to stay.
Welcome back, everyone. We are in sunny, beautiful Waco, Texas, and the Garrison Bulldogs have turned back the Bangs Dragons on 4th down and short 5 consecutive times. They've stopped them, including on an opportunity of 4th and goal at the 1 and 4th and a goal at the 10. And it is 20-0. No offense to speak of for Garrison here in the third quarter. They only had 2 offensive possessions, but they had poor field position on both possessions, failed to move the ball, and the defense has given up yardage. But, hey, when it really counts, they nail them. So,
yeah,
you know.
And Chandler ran from the 10 and got the ball out to about the 35, and another 5-yard run added onto that by Marcus Solomon got the Bulldogs out in a little bit better field position.
2nd down and 4. For the Garrison Bulldogs from the 39-yard line. Chandler will give on the misdirection. Was that Christopher? It was Christopher, the ball carrier, and he will not get much.
Now, number 39, Furnace, coming in to make the hit.
I don't know if Garrison, did they get a first down in the third quarter? I don't think they did.
No, I don't think so. I think
but this will be an opportunity here because it's 3rd and short, 3rd down and 2. You're up 20-0. You just want to finish them off. And if you could do that with a good, long, sustained drive right here.
Yeah. Now, the Bulldogs had a couple penalties that set them back in those first 2 drives here in the third quarter.
3rd down and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 41-yard line. Handoff goes straight ahead to Blunt, and he's got it. First down.
First down.
Good job.
Yeah, it looked like Rex Johnson snapped the ball and come out there and threw a lead block on one of those linebackers and let Blunt come out there and pick up that first down.
Move the chains and just keep that clock rolling. 11-13 left to play, fourth quarter, 20-0 Garrison. Statistically, things may look a little bit more impressive for Bangs, but when it gets right down to it, it's what counts. It's on the scoreboard, and that's what's the big thing right now. And what that defense has done today has been terrific. 1st and 10, back to throw Chandler. Short drop, and looking downfield for Blunt, it's overthrown.
Yeah, he didn't have a chance for that ball, but
remember, Garrison,
not a bad play call.
Garrison's got the wind to the back, Rusty, so they want to take full advantage of that. He lofted that ball up there, and the wind may have carried it a few extra yards.
Fortunately, though, he threw that ball where only Blunt was the only man that had a shot at it, and it was either Blunt catch it on the sideline or it was going to go out of bounds.
Well, Garrison will graduate some good folks, Rusty, but they'll have a good nucleus returning, and they should be able to continue this tradition.
Yeah, the Bulldogs have a mighty fine team and have good coaching, and you put both of those things together, and it looks like it's going to work out just fine.
2nd down, 10. Line of scrimmage, the 44. Here's the quarterback play, keeps on the fake, and Chandler going to eat the football at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, number 2, Landon Brush, trying to strip the ball. Looked like he grabbed his arm, And
I've been impressed with the Dragon defense. It's just their offense that just doesn't get it done. And they've got some talent on this football team. There's some good players on this team.
Now, their boys up the middle are they're not what you would call, they're not fat. I mean, they're just big old boys, and they're very mobile, and they don't have trouble getting outside to make tackles. And so that's really been kind of a problem for the Bulldogs on offense. Coach Thompson wants a timeout.
All right, well, we'll take it with them. There's a timeout on the field. Proud supporters of the Garrison Bulldogs, Mike Perry Motor Company, family-owned, customer-driven. We'll be back after this 60-second break.
These days, a lot of banks are offering free checking accounts, but with strings attached. Now, Regions Bank introduces a free checking account that's really free. Listen to this. You get unlimited check writing with a free Visa check card, free internet banking, and no monthly service charge. What could be simpler? To open your account, stop by your local Regions Bank today and get the free checking account that's really free. Only from Regions Bank, with the strength to help you do more. Member FDIC.
You know, our joints are just like any other moving parts. They have a tendency to wear out. When they start to go, constant pain can be a way of life, but it doesn't have to be that way. Dr. Stephen Ballinger, orthopedic surgeon, uses state-of-the-art surgical techniques to replace worn-out joints, putting many back on the road to painless freedom of movement. At Nacogdoches Bone and Joint Clinic, we accept your Medicare and medical insurance towards payment. Call Dr. Stephen Ballinger today at 564-2401.
We're back here in Waco, Texas, rocking and rolling with these Garrison Bulldogs as they're facing 3rd down and 11 from the 44-yard line, leading 20-0. Everybody right up on the line of scrimmage and going to be sacked as a quarterback Chandler. He took too much time. Everybody was right up on the line of scrimmage for the Dragons. They were coming after the quarterback, and he had a little bit of time, but he took too much, and it's going to be 4th down, and the punting unit will check in. Garrison up 20-0.
That was an obvious passing situation, and they just went all out to get Chandler. He didn't have enough time to throw that ball. But Bulldogs have the wind to their back. Jaron Blunt put a lot of air under this ball, and see if we can pin them back a little bit.
4th time today that Blunt is punted. He stands back at the 28-yard line. Here comes the snap from center. Gets the kick away. Nice kick.
Evers fumbles it
and chases it down at the 5.
Ooh,
try to
push in the back.
There. And he's going to be knocked down in his tracks at the 5-yard line.
Yep. Shane Cotton, number 7, and Shady Hester converging on the tackle. But Blake Phillips, I think, was the one that got pushed in the back.
Well, we'll see what the official says here in just a moment from the field. But things are really coming unraveled with this Dragon team. And
well, there's a flag down on the other end, too, Gary.
We'll let the officials tell us what's going on from downstairs. And the Zebras are sorting it out as we speak here. And I tell you what, if Garrison can just continue this defensive dominance.
Both penalties are against the Dragons.
Initial calls are against the Dragons.
It looked like we had a personal, was it a late hit or something over here at the line of scrimmage, and then a push in the back down at the return end. We're going to have to listen to this explanation here.
Well, they're going to have to do it all over again is what it amounts to probably. But there's a big discussion going on with the officials and trying to sort all through this and figure out what was called and what you do in response. And sometimes when you have more than one penalty call, it can be real confusing.
Yeah, you might have to get an Austin lawyer to come out here and figure out where the ball ought to be spotted.
Now the official is marking off 15 yards, though, as they bring it back
We
up.
have a personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense. It's an automatic 1st down. The foul on the other end for holding was declined. 1st down.
So there you have it.
Well, that was a terrible blow against the Dragons. Good break for the Bulldogs. Of course, you don't like to see Jaron Blunt get tattooed with his kicking leg in the air.
And what it amounts to is Garrison has a 1st and 10 at the 44, keeps the football instead of giving it up. Handoff goes to Blunt. He goes to the left side. He gets down to about the 40.
Well, they give the ball to Blunt while he's still mad about getting late hit.
Yeah. Under 9 minutes now, and we'll keep a close eye on that clock here. 8:55 left to play in a strong wind. I would estimate 30, 35 miles an hour. Second down and about 7. The 40-yard line is going to be the new line of scrimmage. They're going to send a man to the left side. The Bulldogs will in this formation. That's going to be Harris. He'll be the lone wide receiver, 2 backs in a split set and a veer. Handoff straight ahead to McAllister.
Yep.
And he's got some room.
Very close to the first down.
Yeah, what you'd love to see is just a good time-consuming drive that results in a score here.
That's right, and looks like the Bulldogs' offensive line is having a little bit more liberty on this particular series, these last 2 or 3 plays.
Third down and a yard. Line of scrimmage will be the 35-yard line. 20-0 Garrison, folks, are 8 minutes away from their first ever state title in school history. If they could just hang on just a little while longer, and I think they could do it. Chandler, third down and 1. Here he goes. Handoff straight ahead. First down.
Harold Christopher, number 33, just diving across that first down line. And officials looks like he wants to measure it.
Well, some of these West Texas folks are headed for the exits.
Well,
and it's a long trip from Bangs, Texas, but
well,
they've got a lot to be proud of. I mean, when you get this far, both teams. Let's see what the officials are going to rule here.
Well, you know what? It's no shame to lose to these Garrison Bulldogs. Well, he's going to say it's 2 inches.
Well, you know, they're undefeated, and they've been ranked number 1 all year. And what a fitting way to finish, show that you deserve that ranking and all the praise that you've had. Well, Chandler going to come in after a discussion with Coach Thompson from the sideline with a play on 4th and inches at the 34-yard line of Banks is where he'll have it.
Gary, I think we're going to see the quarterback sneak here.
Yeah, we'll see if you're right. And the quarterback.
Give to Christopher.
Christopher, I think you got it.
Yeah. If they spot it where this official on this side is, he got the first down by about a yard. First down, Bulldogs.
First down at the 33-yard line. There's 7:18 left to play.
Now, Christopher has not run for a whole bunch of yards today, but he's had some important yards, just like that last yard right there.
Harris, the lone wide receiver in this formation for Garrison. First down at the 33-yard line of Bangs. Split back, short drop, quarterback looking left, throwing deep, and it is
Harris.
Caught by Harrison to the 6-yard line. First and goal.
Woo, beautiful throw, beautiful catch. Number 2, Justin Harris on the fade route to the sideline. The defensive back never saw it. Harris saw it, turned around, came back to it, up in the air, reeled it down. First down, Bulldogs.
Something tells me there's going to be a little more icing on the cake here with a 20-0 lead. And the icing would be in the form of another score here. First and goal at the 6-yard line of the Dragons. You score here, game over.
Pretty much, Gary.
I'd say turn the lights out, party's over, but you can't say that.
Official threw a flag right up in the middle of everybody.
That wasn't very nice.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
I don't know where that came from. Do you?
Well, I was watching the replay on the Jumbotron, and I turned around.
Substitution infraction on the offense.
Okay.
Replay, first down.
Well, I can live with that.
First down at the 11-yard line. That's where it'll be on the penalty. These officials don't let anything slip by to them.
No, it looks like
Chandler up the line of scrimmage. Will keep. Rolls, throws in the end zone. Caught!
Number 22, Marcus Solomon.
Touchdown! How sweet it is!
What a beautiful play, and it looked like that ball was no way it was going to be caught. Marcus Solomon laid out and scooped it up.
And, you know, the quarterback on the other end, Chandler, was on a full run when he made that throw. That's a good quarterback.
He sure was.
And he had to throw back and he did a great job of finding his man who was covered well, and that will pretty well put the nails in the coffin right there, folks. 26-0. Garrison will have a lot to celebrate, and wouldn't it be nice? Well, it will be nice to see Garrison and St. Augustine both state champs.
Well, next year, this coming season is a redistrict. Well, we've got a hurt Dragon down in the end zone.
Yeah.
But next year is a redistricting year, so it'd be very interesting if St. Augustine and Garrison are put in the same district again. We could have defending state champions meet in district play.
Yeah, wouldn't that be kind of neat?
Sure would. Be a lot of hype surrounding that.
Well, there's a lot of speculation about what's going to happen with realignment and where everybody's going to go, but there always is. So,
well, you can hear all kinds of crazy things about rumors about what the UIL may do, but I don't expect anything very severe.
We'll see.
Well, it looks like Chandler's got the towel this time. He wipes his toe, throws the towel to Sean Bolaris.
26-0. Let's see if we can make it 27-0. Here comes the extra point try by Chandler. It's good. 27-0. Garrison. We're back in 60 seconds with 6:14 left to play right after this.
Atkinson Body Repair off the Old Lufkin Road, Nacogdoches, is East Texas' smart choice for auto collision repair. Gary Atkinson says, we take pride in our work and pay attention to even the smallest details. Family owned and operated, Atkinson Body Repair offers over 40 years combined experience in quality body and paint work. Recommended and approved by major insurance companies, Atkinson Body Repair does complete auto body repairs, frame straightening, and paint work. Atkinson Body Repair, just off the Old Lufkin Road, Nacogdoches.
6 minutes, 14 seconds till state championship time as the Garrison Bulldogs looking at a 20-7 lead. Beautiful pass. We just saw executed into the end zone on a full run. In fact, that pass was made by Chandler to his receiver, Solomon, who did a great job catching that ball, Rusty.
Marcus Solomon is quite an athlete, and I know that Marcus wants to play college football somewhere, so if there's any coaches out there, college football coaches, listen, if you want a player that's going to give you 100% everything he's got, Marcus Solomon will help your team.
What a day for Bulldog fans, huh? 27-0. A lot of people from Garrison have made the trip here. I don't think there's anybody left, is there?
No, somebody might be looting the town. Well, the balls fell off the tee twice.
That wind, the reason why.
That means somebody's going to have to hold it, according to the rules. And it looks like it's going to be, oh no, he's going to let him try to kick it again. No, Solomon's going to have to hold it for him.
And Blunt will kick. The Garrison Bulldogs 27-0, folks, have held on 4th and short 5 times. The defense has turned back the Dragons. Here's a booming kick with the wind to his back. Out of the end zone. That ball must have gone 70 yards in the air.
It sure did. It didn't hit the ground until it went out of the end zone, off the AstroTurf, and up on the grass, up on the real grass.
27-0.
Whew. Well, the Dragons going to put it in play on the 20-yard line with 80 yards to go, and they really hadn't had trouble moving the ball in the middle of the field, but when the field gets short, well, their offense sputters.
First down from the 20-yard line. Tilton will remain at quarterback for this Bangs team that has come up short today. Handoff, we're going to Apple, and he will get down to about the 25-yard line. Clock rolling with 6 minutes left to play.
Jedi Thomas and Heath Copeland getting in on that tackle.
It was Jones they went to. Jones is limping a little bit. Second down and 5. Second and 5. The wind against the Dragons, and so are the odds of winning this ball game. They're down 27-0. Clock rolling. Maybe, if you're a pass team, you can get the ball down in the field in a hurry. But when you can only run the ball in a situation like this, you're pretty well helpless. Second down.
Yeah, he's going to pass.
Back to throw. Quarterback
batted. Oh, almost intercepted by number 9, Sean Bolaris. Who batted that ball, Gary?
I'm not sure. There were like 4 or 5 jerseys right there, together right where the ball was.
Well, like Gary said, Tilton been throwing the ball very low, and it looks like one of the linebackers batted the ball. The receiver still had a shot at it, but when it got batted, of course, Sean Bolaris smacked the receiver in the back and crawled up and tried to make the catch.
3rd down and 5. Tilton at quarterback. 2 tight ends, no wide receivers. Hands off on the reverse play. Looking for some room is brushed. He's going to be knocked to the ground.
Yeah, nobody. He had a 1 blocker to block 4 men. And looked like Bolaris and Justin Harris and Marcus Solomon. Too much to handle for 1 blocker.
Well, it's 4th down and not going to go for it this time. 4th and 5. Pretty much out of the ball game. And even when they tried the halfback pass a while ago, it didn't work because they're just not a pass team. They don't execute well at all.
Are we going to try the first punt of the game here, Gary?
And that'll be at the 12-yard line. Here comes the kick. Wobbly kick gets the wind. Shanked it off his foot to the left side. It'll go out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. And that's where Garrison will take possession with 4:41 left in the game.
Well, this game's going to look peculiar on the stat sheet. That was Bangs' first punt.
If you look at the stat sheet, probably you won't on the pass offense, but on the rushing offense, probably more rushing yardage. But again, it's just 4th down on 5 different occasions and not making it happen. And the defense is bent. That old adage, the defense is bent, but it hadn't broke. And that's the difference in the game right now.
Yep.
Garrison really, the offense has scored only twice. The other touchdown was scored on a turnover.
I see Julius Cairo, number 42, is checked in, and he'll probably be the fullback on this play.
And the Dragons, I'll be honest with you, they're not a bad defensive ball club. They're not a bad defensive team at all. Their offense has, as you mentioned, no imagination. There's a timeout. Let's take a break. Always proud supporters of the Garrison Bulldogs, Mike Perry Motor Company. Family-owned, customer-driven. We'll be back right after this short timeout.
Offer the ones you hold dearest to your heart what they deserve. A happy, comfortable, loving environment found at Garrison Nursing Home. Making the right decision for your family is never easy. But when you need a place that can offer companionship, security, and special attention for the elderly, trust Garrison Nursing Home. Around-the-clock care for the people you love by qualified healthcare professionals. If you're looking for answers, call Glenn or Maybelle Yarborough, caring administrators at Garrison Nursing Home.
Welcome back, everyone. A windy day and a great day for Garrison fans to celebrate. 27-0 is the score, Garrison. And guess what? The Bulldogs have the football at the 49-yard line of Bangs with not a whole lot of time to run off the clock. Chandler will remain at quarterback. I set. Handoff straight ahead to Christopher. And Garrison right now, Rusty, they'd just like to pick up a couple of first downs and get this thing over with.
Now, number 7, Jacoby Jones, coming up to make the stop there after Christopher gets about a yard. And the Bulldogs run all that time off the clock and take it on to the house.
2nd down. Winds are blowing here at a pretty good clip, I'd say 25, 30 miles an hour. And the wind is at the back of the Garrison Bulldogs. 2nd down and 9, and it definitely has had a factor on the kicking game, I can tell you that today. Here's the quarterback on the toss to Christopher. Christopher trying to turn the corner.
Stretching it all the way out. Gets another yard.
But not much. It'll be 3rd and long. One score for Garrison here in the second half, and it was impressive. Touchdown catch by Solomon.
Boy, it was a beaut, wasn't it?
It sure was. And Bangs will have to think about next year. Garrison and St. Augustine, maybe they should party together or something.
Maybe. I think the Bangs Dragons, they played for the state championship last year for the Division I title against Corrigan. And Corrigan's the Bulldogs also. Boy, they just don't have bad luck against Bulldogs.
Yeah, apparently so. 3rd down and 9 facing Garrison at the 48-yard line. Quarterback on the counter and no place to go.
Solomon, the ball carrier that time, and hit about the same time he took the handoff.
Clock rolling with 2:57 left to play.
Apparently, Bangs, obvious the Bulldogs are going to keep the ball on the ground and run the clock, and they just sending everybody. And, jailbreak defense and no safety or anything.
And Blunt in to punt the ball for Garrison, and he should be able to kick the ball well because, again, this good breeze is to his back. He stands at around the 37-yard line, dead center between the hash marks. And I say that, and he gets a wobbly kickoff. But it's a decent kick, and he angles it for the sideline. It goes out of bounds about the 16-yard line.
Well, that's not really a bad kick, and no return.
And we're not gonna promise you anything, but we're gonna send Rusty down and see if we can't talk to Coach Thompson after this is all over with. And
this is going to take it's going to be a technical leap for me.
We can figure out how to punch the right buttons with Rusty.
Man, I still use an abacus instead of a calculator.
First down, here comes the Bangs Dragons trailing 27-0 to Garrison with little time remaining. 2:20 in the ball game. Handoff on the draw to Jones. Jones has got some room, about 8 yards, but we'll let him have them 8-yard gains all day long.
Yep. Blake Phillips and Devin Connell in to make that stop there for the Bulldogs after a gain of about, 7 or 8?
And about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. Line of scrimmage will be the 28-yard line. And when you look at the stat sheet, you'll see the stats pretty much even up, but on the scoreboard, difference in that Garrison defense. Let me tell you something. Folks, they have done it today, and they've deserved this shutout.
Yep, for the last 2 weeks, the Bulldog defense really
and off
kept
on the
them in
misdirection to Jones. He's free, but he's going to be caught from behind by Solomon. Solomon with a touchdown-saving tackle at the 45-yard line. I mean, he's a dangerous, dangerous runner, and he's over 100 yards today, but no touchdowns, and that's the stat I want to point out.
Yeah, Solomon that time, he made the tackle after Jones gained several yards, and he got up and was pointing out a hole that he had seen that he thought one of the officials had missed.
Up to the line of scrimmage. Bangs 1st and 10. Back to throw the quarterback Tilton. Looking left, throwing left, and it's off the fingertips of his intended receiver. Actually, he had it right in the hands, but he just didn't catch the ball.
Yeah, that was their best pass attempt of the day, and Jones had it, just couldn't reel it in.
Only one where actually it was a receiver had a chance at it. 2nd down and 10.
Of course, Jaron Blount was there. If he would have caught it, he probably would have got his headgear knocked around sideways.
Minute 15 left in this one before the Garrison Bulldogs start celebrating that state championship first in school history. 2nd down. Here's the quarterback. Handoff straight ahead.
Looked like Apple, I think.
It was.
And number 54 for the Bulldogs.
Dragons want to get it over. Garrison wants to get it over. A minute left to play.
Daniel Gillis in on that stop.
3rd down and 7 needed for the first. And the Garrison Bulldogs are going to take home the trophy, folks. 51 seconds left. Garrison fans all on their feet. You can hear them. Handoff goes to Jones.
Blake Phillips blowing the play up.
And maybe time for one more play, and then that should about do it.
Several of these Bulldogs fixing to play their last down of football ever for the rest of their lives.
And, the Bulldogs have done a good job, too, of putting people in the collegiate ranks.
Yeah, they sure have. Bulldogs have boys playing at Midwestern State, Louisiana College, Rice, and here comes the last play of the season.
Here we go. 4th down, 5 seconds left to play. Get the snap off. Handoff goes straight ahead, and the running back will have no place to go. It's all over.
And that's the ball game.
How sweet it is. 27-0. Let's listen to those Garrison fans. $27-0. The final score. We'll be back with post-game activities after these messages.
Today, there's a newer ER. At Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital, we've improved patient care and comfort with our new Level 3 Trauma Center. Today, there's a faster ER. At Memorial Hospital, we've instituted the Fast Track program, which enables less severe cases to be seen by a doctor faster, while more critical injuries go straight to the ER. Today, there is a better ER. At Memorial, we've always had the most caring staff and state-of-the-art equipment. Now we have the facility that makes us newer, faster, and better. Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital. The future is ours.
At PacSun, your comfort is their business. They take care of all your heating and air conditioning needs with quality products like Amana and dependable service. For year-round comfort, the Amana gas furnace with the stainless steel exchanger gives you an extra measure of economy and dependability. One call, one company. Backed by the products from Amana. PacSun in Nacogdoches and Lufkin. PacSun. For year-round comfort, they've got you covered.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a name worth remembering. When you think about prescription drugs, over-the-counter medications, and quality healthcare products, remember this name. This name will be the only name you need to remember when it comes to prescription drugs. Medical Center Pharmacy. When you want a pharmacist you can trust, remember this name, Melvin Beard, a pharmacist who cares about you and your family. Melvin Beard has a friendly staff at Medical Center Pharmacy where your health is their only business. In downtown Garrison, a name worth remembering.
For real one-stop convenience, drive into Bradshaw's Quick Stop, Highway 59 in Garrison, across from the school, supporting the Bulldogs all the way. Mr. and Mrs. Mike Bradshaw invite you to enjoy delicious pizza and subs served up hot and fresh every day at Bradshaw's Quick Stop. For a quick fill-up of Exxon gasoline, good food and refreshments, and convenient one-stop shopping, stop in at Bradshaw's Quick Stop, Highway 59 in Garrison, across from the school, home of the #1 Garrison Bulldogs.
Home Sweet Home. When you're ready to build your dream home, you want the best quality material, workmanship, and price. For a job well done, call Mike Worsham at Mike Worsham Construction Company, 569-8018. Mike Worsham Construction is your assurance of quality workmanship and materials at competitive prices. For new home construction, from blueprints to completion, call Mike Worsham at Mike Worsham Construction Company, 569-8018.
Today's state championship football is being brought to you in part by Dwayne Crow and the folks at Crow's Paint and Body Shop. Located midway between Garrison and Nacogdoches, Crow's Paint and Body Shop offers professional auto painting and body work at competitive prices. All makes and models. Insurance claims welcome. That's Crow's Paint and Body Shop, located on U.S. Highway 259, midway between Nacogdoches and Garrison.
Welcome back, everyone, to the official Garrison postgame show here on Quality Rock Q107, where it has been quite a day in Garrison football history. First time that the team has been able to brag about winning a state championship, and boy, did they do it today. 27-0, and I think a lot of factors went into the victory today. A patient offense that kept making the plays they had to make to win, a defense that kept turning back a Dragon team on 4th down and short. This team bent a little bit on the defensive side, but didn't break, kept its composure, kept going. And we just watched Coach Jimmy Thompson down on the field get doused with Gatorade. And by the way, Rusty is down there on the field with Coach Thompson. And it may be a little while before we hear from him, though, because I know Coach Thompson wants to visit with his kids, I think, before he visits with the media. But we watched him just a moment ago get doused from the blind side by Gatorade. And, you know, this coach deserves a pat on the back. His coaching staff, the community of Garrison. This has been an unbelievable year. When you look back, and the team was ranked #1 from the very beginning of the get-go. They go through the season undefeated. They earned that #1 ranking. They beat some very good folks along the way. And show that this team is very deserving of all the respect it's had. And who knows, maybe this will continue on for several years down the line. As Rusty mentioned, though, realignment is going to be interesting to see what happens, because there's all kinds of rumors floating around as to who will go where and what teams will move up a classification or move down. But that'll come in February, and we'll just have to wait and see. But this was a brilliant ball game, brilliantly played. Couldn't have gone much better than what it is, and the score reflected that 27-0. The only thing is, on the stat sheet, Garrison was outrushed today, but they ended up with some passing yardage, whereas there wasn't a single completed pass in the game for this Dragon team, and I thought that was their downfall, their inability to throw. If you're a run-oriented team and you can't throw at all, a lot of times when you're matched up in a game like this where you're matched up where a defense is going to shut down your running game and you can't throw, it really gets you in trouble. And I thought that was a real big factor in the ball game when you looked at the matchup. On several different occasions, 4th down and 2, and on all 5 times, they didn't throw the ball. They elected to keep it on the ground, and all 5 times Garrison stopped the Dragons. And I thought that was the key to the whole thing, the victory, was when they had the opportunity, the Dragons could not make it happen. And when Garrison had the opportunity, they did. They took advantage of what the defense gave them, and they ended up winning 27-0. Now we see the players holding up that state championship trophy down on the field, and, you know, it's got to be a dramatic moment for these players, the community of Garrison. I don't think there's anybody left in Garrison because there's a big turnout, and you can hear the crowd noise. And in the background as the celebration is down on the field. And somewhere down there, Rusty Duran is in the middle of all that, and we hope to be hearing from him shortly. But absolutely beautiful thing to see. They went through with Jones on 4th and goal at the one, their big back. He was stopped in his tracks. And guess what? Garrison, the first of 5 times they turned back the Bangs Dragons on 4th down and short. They get the ball back, and they go 99 yards on 13 plays and take a 14-0 lead. Blunt, the first of 2 touchdowns for him on the day. He would score on a running play, and that made it 14-0 at that point. That was at the end of 1 quarter of play. And then in the second quarter, pretty much a defensive struggle. Again, the Dragons had opportunities, but again, a great job by the Garrison defense. And 1 turnover turned into the first touchdown of the game for Garrison. Another turnover helped set up a drive when the ball on a pass play was deflected in the air and intercepted. Garrison then would proceed to score on a touchdown pass of 43 yards to Jaron Blunt. Blunt would score in the extra point attempt, though did not go through. And at halftime, it was Garrison 20 and the opponent, the Dragons, nothing. Then in the second half, nothing doing for the Garrison Bulldogs on offense. They didn't even pick up a first down. They had 2 offensive possessions with poor field position, could not move the ball. Again, the Dragons looked like they were ready to finally get on the scoreboard. They moved it down to the 10-yard line, but again, on 4th down and 2, they were turned back by the Garrison defense and had to give up possession again. Then in the fourth quarter, the final score of the game came early in that period on a touchdown pass. Actually, it was a spectacular pass as the Bulldogs moved the ball down to about the 10-yard line. Then on a full run, the quarterback, Wes Chandler, threw complete to Marcus Solomon into the end zone, and Solomon caught the ball and scored to make it 26-0. The extra point try was good and through the uprights, and that's the way it ended. So the Garrison Bulldogs celebrate their first state title in school history. 27-0 was the final today. This will be a day long remembered after some frustrating losses, and especially 2 years ago to perennial power Salina. After they had Salina on the ropes and let them get off, you know, Jimmy Thompson has got to feel very, very good about his team because they are smiling, taking home that trophy. And, of course, with San Augustine winning the Division I 2A title, both teams from the same district win a state title. That's got to be very gratifying for the district and very gratifying for East Texas. So congratulations to the Garrison Bulldogs, winners 27-0, the final score. We'll be back with more of the Garrison postgame show after these messages.
Today, there's a newer ER. At Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital, we've improved patient care and comfort with our new Level 3 Trauma Center. Today, there's a faster ER. At Memorial Hospital, we've instituted the Fast Track program, which enables less severe cases to be seen by a doctor faster, while more critical injuries go straight to the ER. Today, there is a better ER. At Memorial, we've always had the most caring staff and state-of-the-art equipment. Now we have the facility that makes us newer, faster, and better. Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital. The future is ours.
Holiday bonus cash is back at Mike Perry Motor Company in Nacogdoches. Now through January 2nd, you save $3,750 on all 04 Ram 1500 trucks and $3,000 on all 04 Ram 2500 and 3500 model trucks. That's in addition to the already huge discount you'll receive at Mike Perry Motor Company. One family serving you for over 30 years. That's why we can say with confidence,
family-owned, customer-driven.
All rebates assigned to dealer.
In 1963, an insurance agency was born around one simple idea: service matters. Today, that insurance agency is celebrating 40 years of growth. 4 decades later, Joe Max Green Insurance Concepts is one of the top 100 agencies in the nation. And the single factor most responsible for that growth is service. To our employees, our customers, and the people of East Texas, thank you. Joe Max Green Insurance Concepts. Service still matters.
It's a good time to reflect on why cooperatives stand out as beacons of good business and democratic principles. At Deep East Texas Electric Cooperative, our members are treated as if they own the company, because in fact they do. We've pledged to not only provide high-quality, reliable electric service, but to work for community interests as a good neighbor. Cooperative employees volunteer alongside cooperative members at local schools, churches, civic clubs, and ballparks. It's part of our commitment to our members and community. Deep East, we're here to stay.
Today, there's a newer ER. At Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital, we've improved patient care and comfort with our new Level 3 Trauma Center. Today, there's a faster ER. At Memorial Hospital, we've instituted the Fast Track program, which enables less severe cases to be seen by a doctor faster, while more critical injuries go straight to the ER. Today, there is a better ER. At Memorial, we've always had the most caring staff and state-of-the-art equipment. Now we have the facility that makes us newer, faster, and better. Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital. The future is ours.
You know, our joints are just like any other moving parts. They have a tendency to wear out. When they start to go, constant pain can be a way of life, but it doesn't have to be that way. Dr. Stephen Ballinger, orthopedic surgeon, uses state-of-the-art surgical techniques to replace worn-out joints, putting many back on the road to painless freedom of movement. At